Have you ever wondered if the Lord of Justice himself is brought to his knees? Let me take you to a tale of divine scales, mortal agony, and a curse that forced death walk among the men. This is the story from the Adiparv of Mahabharata. Far from the chaos of the world, outside a humble ashram, sat the great Rishi Mandavya. He was lost in the profound depths of deep meditation beneath the shade of an ancient tree. He was entirely disconnected from the physical realm, unaware of the rustling leaves or the passing time. Suddenly, the tranquility was shattered. A band of desperate dacoits, breathless and clutching the freshly stolen loot, burst into the clearing. Seeking refuge from the law, they scurried into the depths of the Sage's ashram to hide. Moments later, the king's heavily armed guards stormed the clearing. The captain of the guard, eyes darting, approached the unmoving sage. "Where have they gone?" he demanded. Mandavya, anchored in the spiritual plane, offered only silence. The officer barked the question again, but the sage neither heard nor spoke. Suspicious, the guards searched the ashram. When they emerged dragging both the dacoits and the stolen treasure, the captain sneered. In his eyes, this was no holy man. This was the mastermind of the thieves hiding behind the sacred ash of a sadhu. Bound and dragged before the king, Mandavya remained silent. The king, blinded by the fury that a criminal would dare defile the holy garb of a sage to deceive his realm, demanded no trial. He asked no questions. With a careless wave of his hand, the king pronounced a gruesome sentence: impalement. The king's men dragged the innocent Rishi away and ruthlessly impaled his body upon a cruel spear. But Mandavya was no ordinary mortal. Such was the sheer, terrifying power of his tapasya that death dared not claim him. He remained alive, suspended in agony, sustained only by the iron will of his meditation. Witnessing the impossible feat, great sages from across the heavens took the form of birds. They flocked around his pierced body, their voices trembling with sorrow. "O great Mandavya," they wept, "what has brought this terrible fate upon you?" Despite his physical torment, the sage's mind was utterly devoid of malice. He simply whispered, "Whom shall I blame? I find no one to blame for my misfortune but myself." When word reached the palace that the impaled criminal was not only alive but surrounded by a chorus of divine sages, a cold dread seized the king's heart. He ran to the execution grounds, trembling with terror. Ordering his men to immediately lower the bleeding sage, the king threw himself into the dust at Mandavya's feet, weeping and begging for salvation from the sin he had just committed. But Mandavya had no wrath for the foolish king. His gaze was fixed much higher. He sought the ultimate authority. He marched straight to the celestial court of Dharmaraj, Yamraj, the lord of death and the divine dispenser of justice. Standing before the throne of death, his body bearing the horrific scars of his punishment, Mandavya's voice thundered through the halls of justice. "What crime have I committed, O Dharmaraj, to deserve such ungodly torture?" Dharmaraj looked down with absolute, unyielding neutrality and replied softly, "O sage, do you not remember? You tortured a helpless locust, piercing it with a sharp, needle-like blade of grass. The scales of karma are absolute. Small acts of charity given with a pure heart bloom into abundant virtue. But engaging in adharma, even in the smallest of ways, inevitably invites profound suffering." Mandavya, stunned, searched his memory. "When did I commit such an offense?" "When you were but a little boy," the Lord of Justice replied. A terrifying silence fell over the court. The calmness of the sage finally shattered, replaced by a blazing, righteous fury that made even the heavens tremble. "The act of an ignorant child?" Mandavya roared. "A child not yet 12 years of age knows nothing of dharma and adharma. The punishment you have dealt is a grotesque violation of justice, far exceeding a mistake born of pure ignorance." Mandavya raised a trembling, scarring finger at the Lord of Death. "Hear my decree, O dispenser of justice. From this day forth, until the age of 14, no deed done in ignorance shall be liable for cosmic punishment, and for your catastrophic failure of judgment, I curse you, O Dharmaraj. You shall fall from the divine throne. You shall be born as a mortal in the realm of men. You will possess unparalleled wisdom, and you will be the most respected among mortals, but you shall never wear a crown. And just as I was left helpless, watching my body be destroyed in agony, so too shall you stand completely helpless. forced to witness the total destruction of your own family. The curse of a true sage cannot be undone, and so the scales of the universe tipped. Dharmaraj fell from the heavens and took birth in the mortal world. He was born as Vidur, the son of a servant maid to Queen Ambalika. Just as the curse dictated, Vidur grew to be a man of unparalleled intellect, a master of statesmanship, completely devoid of worldly attachments and anger. Yet he remained a servant to the throne, never a king, and he was doomed to live a long life, his brilliant mind utterly powerless as he watched the catastrophic Kurukshetra war tear his beloved Kuru dynasty to ash and bones.